Alright, part 3 of my uniface series. I think hopefully this will kill my pile, hopefully. Bust through them kind of fast. Beautiful piece of higher quality, raw K County. Thin, very thin uniface. Kind of broken up, but it looks like the side and the end is used. Kind of a smaller, one of the oblong humpbacks, I believe. I'm gonna guess archaic somewhere. Very crude. Use wear all around it though. In Cortex. There's that indented circular impression design. Not design, but you know what I meant. Here's a interesting item. K County shirt again. You can see the fossils and the stripes for ID. Not all of it has it, but that's how you tell the flint on that. It'll be white, cream colored when raw, turning to a pink, purpley red color when heated. Kind of a cool uniface knife right there. Here's a scraper form that I was talking about, I think, in the first video. I believe these to be some form of paleo, whether it's Clovis, Dalton, Allen, Scottsbluff. I believe it to be some kind of paleo culture made this design, this type of scraper. Spur, it's got a spur, kind of tapering basal section to a worked, rounded, wider distal. This one actually has some use right there too. That's cool. This might be one of my favorite ones actually. I love that style of scraper. I think I did a few of those earlier. Here's one. See how it's the same thing? A worked, rounded in. Really not that much work anywhere else. Tapering basal design. For comparison, here's the other one. Similar style as them last two. Scraper in, and I'm guessing they use that as a knife, as a multi-tool. Probably had 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 uses. Interesting. Snapped, rounded uniface. This was from an overhang site. That's kind of cool how it stands like that. I remember I found this one on my birthday one year. In person, it's a cool color. When it's wet, it's almost purple. Cool knife. Very thin and sharp. Beautiful stripes. Beautiful K County shirt. Here's an oldie. This just screams Clovis to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Here's a cool heat treated. Look at the fossils. So cool. That's a good shot at it. Foramina. I used to know all the names of those and whatnot. It's millions of year old ancient sea life when Oklahoma was a shallow sea. Interesting tool form. Some kind of a woodland, archaic Mississippian knife or blade. Here's a cool scraper. This I found earlier this year, I believe. I thought it was broken until I got it home and looked closer at it. And I think it was snapped, but I think they still used it. You can see the use wear and the resharpening right there on the fracture. Worked all the way around. I'm sure those fresh fractures were sharp. I'm sure they wanted to use that. Interesting. Here's a tiny little heat-treated item scraper. This is a biface. What is this doing in here? This is in the wrong bag. Man, if that ain't a Clovis biface, I ain't never seen one. Look at that delta. Dang. That's in the wrong bag. There's a scraper. Look how pink that is. Heat treated. That would have been a white color before they put it in a fire. That's a cool fossil right there. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom in on that fossil. What is that? Like a dragonfly wing? Man, that's trippy. That is a weird fossil. There's like that rounded, chiseled in, kind of narrow. I guarantee you that was for getting marrow out of long bones, I bet. Very thin uniface. Has some cool micro work. Here's a bifacial one that's in here. I think it is a scraper. Maybe it's a resharpened adze or celled. I don't know. Reed Springs Church. Got some old staining. I call it Reed Springs. I think this one is actually Boone. I have a bad habit of that, sorry. This one's always interested me. Any of those kind of bifacial ones are interesting. Look at that dark Reed Springs, I think. Man, that's cool. I think that's what that is. Like some black Reed Springs. Is that another one? I think that's the same exact material. I could be wrong. Maybe that's Oolaga, what they call Oolaga, maybe? That's close to Alibates. I can't quite tell. I think that is Alibates. Kind of some pink Alibates. Man, that's cool. Look at that work right there on that. There's that semicircle shape, indention. Very fine micro work. Woo! Dang. Look at that little scraper. Very fine work right there. Pretty cool. Sharp graver. Wow, look at that. Look at that graver spur. Dang, that's sharp. Here's a bifacial one. Very weird. Has an old feel. Lots of use wear. Some old staining still stuck to it. You got to think too, guys, a lot of these have been in a raging river for probably thousands of years. So technically all that algae caked on is kind of impressive that it's not washed off. Leads me to believe it's possibly older. I don't see much use on this one, but I guarantee you they probably use that. Almost a crescent shaped here. I mean, I'm not really going to call it a crescent, but I've seen people that call items similar a crescent, a paleo crescent. Leland Shanks, tell me what you think about this one, man. All y'all out there, go check out his channel, man. He's a good dude. He's got some good insight on a lot of Oklahoma point typology. His channel's Homegrown Farms, I believe. He's a old school, long-term Oklahoma arrowhead hunter. He's found some cool stuff over the years. This one I think's old. It's got a angled tip with a like a perforator. I'm pretty sure they were engraving stuff with that distal. Almost kind of a fluted basal segment with almost another flute preparation for the other side almost. Almost a overshot flake too. But yeah, I know that they were using that tip right there. Cool little tool. That's weird. Excuse me. Some nice work on it. Classic little scraper, bull-nosed in. Kind of rough material. Here's a little fine, sorry, I can't talk. Finely made one. Broken. Almost dropped it. I'm guessing this is, I'm not gonna say, kind of more recent, maybe woodland Mississippian-ish. Man, that's almost gonna do it for my little stash, y'all. I hope you guys didn't find this too boring. what is that, number 4 or 5 on the, oh, wow, I need a break. I'm glad I'm not handling paleos out here. Man, this one's pretty. It's white and red. Look at that, that's pretty. Sucks it's broke. Almost a little bulb of percussion scraper. Kind of seems like. Now this one's not really worked or anything, but look at that. That's weird. Y'all ever seen anything like that? It's sharp too. I mean, you could use that and cut something. Oh, I caught it. How about that? That's some hands. Look at that. What in the heck? It's a paleo blunt, look. I always thought this one looked like a face. This would be the mouth, kind of eyes on each side. The nose would be the ridge. I don't normally say stuff like that, guys, but that's my only face effigy. Alright, the bottom of the barrel here. Just a crude tool, probably like a side scraper. One of the oblong ones. Classic end scraper with some knife wear on the side there. Graver spur on the top left. Oh, wow. That's a failed fluted preform. I was looking for this earlier. I think that's what that is. I can't remember ever seeing a uniface one. But it looks to me like they fluted it. The momentum ran down, snapping it. That's exactly what they look like. That's a great find. I'm not sure what that is. It's a little uniface knife. Oh, that's a cool one. Kind of a cool one to end on. Cool little blade. Got some nice micro use. This is similar to a gun flint, but I don't think it is. Oh, that's worked and sharp. Man, that's cool. Well, that does it for my pile, y'all. Hopefully I can get this pile in before dark. Look at that. Man, that's killer.